The Western Naval Command is geared up for emergency response during cyclone Nisarga and monsoon. The Indian Navy has been at the forefront of every effort to aid citizens in times of natural calamities and other contingencies requiring assistance for rescue and relief of the affected populace. With the monsoons imminent over the west coast of India, the Western Naval Command has mobilized adequate resources for flood relief, rescue and diving assistance in the event of excessive rainfall and flooding of both urban and rural areas in coordination with the respective state governments on the western seaboard. To get more in detail about this particular information, let us begin with today's defense updates of 3rd of June 2020. Before beginning, I would like to tell you that SSB Crack Exams is India's largest, most preferred online defense exams preparation portal. It is one-stop solution for you if you are preparing for NDA, CDS, AFCAT, INET, Territorial Army and Indian Air Force Airman Group X and Group Y. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter and Telegram and directly visit us through our website learn.ssbcrackexams.com. You can download our app from Google Play Store where you can have each and every defense related information, examination related content and study material in your hand for your preparation for various exams. Beginning with the question of the day that we have posted on 28th of May 2020. It's been a lot of time. So let us begin with that particular question, and the question was to explain and describe about the basic and factual details about Mi-17 of Indian Air Force. Mi-17 is the Indian Air Force most powerful strategic helicopters, and the role of this particular helicopter is it is a transport one and it is armed with assault capabilities. The national origin of this particular helicopter, this is manufactured in Russia, in the Soviet Union, and the design group include the MIL Moscow helicopter plant. It is built by the Kazan helicopter plant and it first flew in the year of 1975. It is introduced as Mi-8MT in the year of 1977 and this Mi-17 was into existence in the year of 1981. Approximately Russia and 60 other countries use this particular helicopter and this is produced in a very strategic way. Approximately 12,000 of these have been built as of around 2007 and the unit cost will vary depending upon the specifications and the military and civilian others. It is developed from MIL, Mi-8. Let us discuss in more detail about the design characteristics about the Mi-17 helicopter. We have to understand that this particular blade is known as the main rotor blade. All of this and whichever thing you are seeing it here, this is the main rotor blade and this is very big, and this is a tail rotor blade. So the tail rotor blade has 3 and we have 5 main rotor blades. One is here, one is here, one is here, other 2 are here. We have 5 main rotor blades and 3 tail rotor blades. The diameter of the tail rotor is 12.8 feet and it is around that we have around 14.8 feet distance between the wheels of the aft of this particular helicopter, and the length of this helicopter is around 60.5 feet and the height of this particular helicopter will include 15.6 feet. To get more in detail, this particular helicopter has a specialized cargo operating status. This is known as the clamshell doors and cargo ramps. The doors open up in this particular way, one in this direction and the other will in this particular direction. And we have the cargo ramp storage areas, cargo ramp loading positions, the tie downs, the clamps and the cargo ramps and stout positions. Beginning with understanding about the antenna locations of this particular helicopter include the GPS antenna. GPS include the global positioning system. We have VHF and UHF frequency indicators. VHF includes the very high frequency and UHF meaning the ultra high frequency. DF is direct frequency, and we have a CDI which also means the course deviation indicator. In front of this particular helicopter we have a pitot tube, not only one, we have one pitot tube here and we have another pitot tube here. We have 2 pitot tubes and we have a marker beacon, we have a transponder, and we also have 2 important radar altimeters which indicate the height of this particular helicopter from the ground level or from the mean sea level, and all others are very important for us. So going on with the next important one in more detail about the general characteristics of the Mi-17 helicopter include it has around 3 crew members which include 2 pilots and 1 engineer. The capacity of this particular helicopter is around 24 troops or 12 stretchers or 4000 kg internally or 5000 kg externally slung. Externally slung means if this is the particular helicopter, if you are hanging it, the maximum weight of this can be around 5,000 kilograms. If it is inside, then it is around 4,000 kilograms. Going on with the next important one is about the empty weight. Empty weight includes that the only weight of the helicopter without having any kind of person in it, only the empty helicopter. The weight of that helicopter is around 7,489 kg, and the gross weight include the 11,100 kg. Maximum takeoff weight includes the 13,000 kg normally. The power plant of this particular helicopter is two Klimov VK 2500 PS03 turbo shaft engines and 1800 kilowatts of each for takeoff. So each particular turboshaft engine has 1800 kilowatts of power. The turboshaft engine is a very important engine. It is a conversion of the turbojet engine. We have also discussed about what is actually a turbojet engine. We have an inlet here, then we have the compressor blades, and then we have the combustion chamber, then we have the turbine blades, and then we have the nozzle exhaust. And if this particular blades are rotating, if you convert this and if you are putting a shaft here, and with that shaft, if you are able to rotate the propeller which is there here, and that particular engine will be set to be a turboshaft engine. The maximum speed of this particular helicopter is 280 kilometers per hour, and the main rotor diameter is 21.25 meters. Cruise speed includes 260 kilometers per hour, and the range includes 800 kilometers with full fuel capacity. Service ceiling is 6,000 meters, approximately 6 kilometers, and the rate of climb is 8 meters per second. Armament include 1500 kilograms of disposable stores on 6 hard points, including bombs, rockets, and gun pods. Now, beginning with the first and foremost important defense update is that the Make in India gets a big boost. Ministry of Defense places intent for supply of 156 upgraded BMP infantry combat vehicles of value of rupees 1094 crores on Ordnance Factory Board. What are these infantry combat vehicles, sir? These are BMP 2x2K infantry combat vehicles. These are going to be powered by 285 horsepower engines and are lower in weight, which will make them highly mobile to meet all tactical requirements of mobility in the battlefield. And to get more in detail, these will be manufactured by the Ordnance Factory Board of Medak in Telangana. And these are with the induction of these 156 ICVs planned to be completed by 2023, and the existing deficiency in the mechanized infantry battalions will be mitigated and combat capability of the army will be further enhanced. So all of these particular important combat vehicles will be getting into the mechanized infantry regiments of the Indian Army. Going on with the next important update is about the Western Naval Command geared up for emergency response during cyclone Nisarga and monsoon. Mumbai, Maharashtra Naval Area will be on standby with 5 flood rescue teams, 3 diving teams throughout the monsoon season, all of which are equipped with all sorts of HADR operations, including the humanitarian assistance and disaster relief equipment. Similar arrangements have also been set up within the Karwar Naval Area and the Goa Naval Area, as well as Gujarat, Daman and Diu Naval Areas too. Going on with the next important update is about Operation Samudra Setu. INS Jalashwa has entered the Tuticorin harbour on 2nd of June 2020, that is yesterday, with 685 Indian nationals evacuated from Colombo, Sri Lanka. With this evacuation, Indian Navy has now repatriated 2,173 Indian nationals from Maldives, and all of these are from different countries including Maldives, Sri Lanka. During the ongoing pandemic, INS Jalashwa will now be proceeding to Maldives for repatriation of approximately another 700 important Indian nationals on 5th of June 2020, that is day after tomorrow. Going on with the next important update is about Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh again speaks with French Minister of Armed Forces Ms. Florence Parly. Both ministers appreciated the efforts made by the armed forces of India and France in fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. Raksha Mantri also welcomed French chairmanship of Indian Ocean Naval Symposium (IONS) from 2020 to 22. What is this Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, sir? Indian Ocean Naval Symposium is a very important one, commonly known as IONS. This is a series of biennial meetings among literal states of Indian Ocean region, all states of Indian Ocean region. And this is very important one because it provides a forum to increase maritime security cooperation, providing forum for discussion of regional maritime issues and promote friendly relationships among the member states. And both of our ministers, Rajnath Singh ji and Florence Parly, has agreed to work together to fulfill India-France joint strategic vision on Indian Ocean region of 2018. Going on with the next important update is that Indian Navy opens its new base workshop at Bogda. Previously this was stationed at Baina, but now it is station towards Bogda. Both of these are situated in Goa, particularly in Vasco, and this is very crucial for minor repairs of warships and other equipment. Navy is used to have this at Baina in the year of 2017, but Ministry of Defense agreed to exchange 3,874 kilometers of defense land with the Marmugao Port Trust on an equitable cost basis. Minister of State for Defense Shripad Naik ji has inaugurated this particular workshop, and Indian Navy expects that this particular workshop will produce very profitable results for our armed forces. Going on with the next important update is about Russia backs India on bilateral mechanism to address the line of actual control standoff. And the Russian Deputy Ambassador to India, Roman Babushkin, he has said that we are confident that the Indian and Chinese friends are duly equipped to find way out for mutual satisfaction. We would encourage every endeavor in this regard. And he also said that Russia feels important to further enhance Russia-India-China dialogue as well as the SCO-based coordination. What is SCO? The Shanghai Cooperation Organization based coordination as vital for regional stability and all sorts of diplomatic relations. Presently, Russia is heading the chairmanship of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and it has given this particular remarks and it has given India an upper hand in this particular issue. Going on with the next important update is that around 1,000 Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorists among 6,000 Pak fighters in Afghanistan, says UN report. This is very important one because Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba are among those groups posing a security threat in that particular nation. Especially in Kunar province, Lashkar-e-Taiba retains a further 220 fighters and Jaish-e-Mohammed has a further 30, all of whom are disbursed within the Taliban forces. To get more in detail, we also have to understand that the UN monitoring team in its annual technical update to United Nations Security Council said that the number of foreign terrorist fighters in search of in search of purpose and livelihood in Afghanistan, including so many numbers of Pakistanis, will render this a complex challenge which will require careful monitoring. They have also said that mostly highlighting the narcotic smuggling networks. The report said according to member state, networks operate in Nangarhar and also into Pakistan, and with acquiescence of security officials who regulate and profit from smuggling of heroin and hashish and many other narcotic drugs. Now we'll have a very quick review of the topics we have discussed, and the first and foremost important question is which ordnance factory is authorized to manufacture under the indent for supply of infantry combat vehicles for the use of mechanized forces of Indian Army. So the answer for this is Factory Project Medak of Telangana or OFPM Telangana. Going on with the next important question, what is the name of the Russian Deputy Ambassador to India? The Russian Deputy Ambassador to India is Roman Babushkin. Nikolai Kudashev is Russian Ambassador to India. He is the Deputy Ambassador to India. Anatoly Antonov is a Russian Ambassador to USA, and Kenneth I. Juster is a USA Ambassador to India. Going on with the next important question, which country holds the current SCO chairmanship? As per we have discussed, currently Russia is holding the SCO chairmanship. SCO chairmanship will be changed in every 1 year. For 1 year Russia will take up, and in the next year another country will take up this. The next important question is the Chidambaram Port Trust, formerly known as the Tuticorin Port Trust or TPT, is one of the 13 major ports in India. It is which largest container terminal in India? And the answer for this is that it is the 4th largest container terminal in India. And next important question is, which among the following terrorist groups is or are posing a security threat in Afghanistan as per the recent UN report? Is it Tehreek-e-Taliban, Pakistan, or Jaish-e-Mohammed, or Lashkar-e-Taiba, or all of the above? And the answer for this is all of the above. Now we'll have the question of the day, and the question of the day for today is, the first 4 Rafale fighter aircrafts from France are expected to land in India in May and will subsequently be inducted into our Indian Air Force and will be stationed at which Air Force station? This is the important question. I'm repeating it. The first 4 Rafale fighter aircrafts which are going to come to our country from France in the month of May will be subsequently inducted into Indian Air Force and they will be stationed at which particular Air Force station? The answer for this I will be giving you in the next session. Until then, stay tuned to SSB Crack Exams. Subscribe to this particular channel. Download our app from Google Play Store so that you can have all of the study material and you can keep your study in progress. And last but not the least, stay home, stay safe, and Jai Hind.